Okay, so hi everyone, I am Paulo and I'm gonna serve as your admin for this session alongside with Ray. Welcome to the session named 100,000 Deeds campaign, presented by Ambi and Binu. And so welcome to this session. We'd like to ask you to during all sessions stay with your microphone and camera off unless the presenters ask you to turn it on, etc. And thank you for joining. And presenters, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Paulo.
Thanks a lot.
We're really excited to be here today talking about a campaign that's very close to our hearts. It's something that started a few years ago with our friend Nadabara, who, as we understand, is also one of the brains behind this Model United Nations and Comics Uniting Nations and a bunch of other cool things. So he's also a runner because, I guess doing all these things is just not enough. So he was in India running and spending time with some very intelligent young people, and we were talking about the sustainable development goals, and one thing led to another, and then we kind of came up with this idea of the 10,000 deeds. And what we really wanted to do was spotlight the fact that every young person has the power to make an impact. And even if it feels like you're doing something really small, when you add up a lot of really small things, it becomes something very powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. So we started the 10,000 Deeds campaign, and it was really nice to see children of all different age groups. So we had kids as young as age 3, and we had uh, kids in the 12th grade. And it was really nice to see that everyone was doing their part. And then when you have everybody coming together with all of these schools, then you kind of see the impact that everyone can kind of contribute and everyone can do together.
So just want to maybe talk to Nadabara for a minute about what he thinks of the campaign, and then we can walk you through what we did and what we like to do now.
Sure. So, by the way, you are not confused. There's a reason for the difference between 10,000 deeds and 100,000 deeds. 10,000 deeds was the original campaign that Bindu and Ambi came up with, and now we're expanding it to 100,000 deeds because we're going global with it. So this all started in Bengaluru, and it also kind of started with the conversation where suddenly Bindu mentioned the Sustainable Development Goals, and I said, "Hey, how do you know about them?" And it went from there. And since they're educators, and not only do they run a music school, but they're also working with getting music and art into schools throughout India at the mostly at the primary level. They have this connection to and this ability to bring this into these schools in this unique way. So from what I saw, there was this kind of need to formalize, how do we give the kids an idea of like what are the SDGs, what are the ways they can contribute, and how can they kind of keep track of that and share it with others. Is that a good intro, or do I need to keep going?
Oh, that was great. And wherever you feel like we're not doing a good job, jump in, or if you have something else, jump in there as well. So what we did was we launched this campaign on Children's Day in India. We partnered with UNICEF India for this event, and we created deed cards and brochures where we allowed students to kind of come up with their own ideas, but if they weren't able to, we came up with a set of ideas that they could use. So under each of the SDGs, we listed out 3, 4, 5 things that people could do to
With
work
different
towards
age groups.
to work towards those goals. So for example, if you were a 3-year-old child and you were kind of looking at saving water, you could kind of opt to switch off the tap when you brush your teeth, or instead of using the bathtub, you could use the shower. And what we found was that even at a really young age, kids were able to get on board with this. and they thought that it was really cool that they were doing something that was part of something that was much bigger. And we focused this around different schools, and in each school what we would do is we would create a huge wall where kids could come and put up their deed cards. So when everybody had committed to the deed that they were doing, you could see visually the impact of 100 or 200 or 500 or 1,000 deeds together. So in that way, we were able to kind of work with 10,000 kids in different schools around Bangalore, which is in South India. And
Yeah, and it was amazing. I think even some kids, they went to their apartment buildings and they changed the entire lighting for that into LEDs and all of that. So it's pretty amazing what they were able to do.
and to kind of celebrate the kickoff of this idea and this project, we took some kids from SAPA, our music school, the Subramaniam Academy of Performing Arts, to a low income school also in Bangalore that we were working with as part of our outreach program. And the kids collaborated on a mural, and you can see a small picture of that mural where they were talking about a million dreams. And we had, what was really nice about it was on the wall of the low income school, but since it took so long to put the mural together, it was actually a really nice day spent between kids who wouldn't otherwise interact. And the kind of takeaways that they had coming back at the end of the day was how similar they were rather than how different. And seeing the kids paint together and interact and move towards common goals together was a very moving thing for us. And we also realized that even kids, it's very obvious to us that kids who are privileged enough to participate in events like the Model United Nations or who go to like private schools have the ability to take part in campaigns. But what we saw was really the desire of people, of students from even lower income or slightly lesser served communities to really step up and want to do something as a part of this as well. And we recorded and released a song called A Million Dreams. And that was kind of a highlight for us because we were able to bring together so many different kids from different areas to be a part of this song. So we decided to call this workshop or this discussion Being Smart About the Goals. And I know most of you are familiar with the acronym of SMART, which stands for Specific, Measurable, Attainable, Relevant, and Time Bound. Because what we found is a lot of people are passionate about the global goals. A lot of people are passionate about the SDGs. And so we've got 2030, a decade away in front of us. And it seems like so much time, but also it seems like it's tomorrow. So if we want to keep moving towards achieving our goals, we need to be smart about them. And we thought that the 10,000 Deeds campaign and now the 100,000 Deeds campaign is a way of being smart because it's a small, specific, measurable action towards an attainable, relevant, time-bound goal. And we felt pretty clever when we put that up. So what I'm going to do over here is, Nadabar, do you want us to play the Million Dreams song? Okay.
Oh, I was mute. So yes, sure, I was saying. You have the video?
Oh, 1 second.
Don't forget the optimize video button. I learned that.
There's so much to learn.
Yeah.
Sorry, 1 second.
I think what you can do is just unshare the screen and then select a new window.
You want to check it?
Oops. Do you want me to find it on the web just in case?
Yeah,
we can send you the link in the chat if that could be easier.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 1 second.
So technology is our friend.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just send that to you.
Okay. Let's see, is it coming?
And in the meanwhile, while we figure that out, I want to move on to examples that we put together for the 10,000 Deeds campaign, which we think makes sense for the 100,000 Deeds campaign. But what we realized is rather than a few of us coming up with ideas that we kind of ask everyone else to implement, it would be great if we could kind of brainstorm together and figure out ideas that make sense for all of us now. So some of the ideas that we had come up with, that kids had come up with when we were doing the original campaign were listed here on the screen, which I guess you can see now. So goal 1, no poverty.
We help people customize and save with Liberty.
So goals that are, so when you're saying no poverty, we had kids who would say, I'll donate toys, or I will buy a monthly bus pass for somebody who needs it, or I will ask my friends to give gifts to an orphanage instead of to me for my birthday, or I will donate clothes. So what we found is that kids were kind of coming up with these ideas themselves, and now that we're sitting with a group of you who are focused on, impact, we can probably do a much better job of coming up with items that would make sense towards the global goals.
Yeah, and I'm sure there are a lot of things that will change depending on where you are in the world, and there are a lot of amazing and innovative things that we all can kind of learn from each other.
I'm ready to play the video if that's good.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Okay. Let's see here.
I close my eyes and I can see the world is waiting up for me, that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie, the brightest colors fill my head. I'm begging to keep me dreams for the world we're gonna make. There's a house.
Hi, everyone. Just 1 second. I forgot to hit a very important button, which says optimize video. So now we're going to get a much better quality. Here we go.
We can build each one there to make you smile on a rainy day. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say we've lost our minds. I don't care if they call us crazy. Run away to a world that we design. 'Cause every night the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
Every child can make a
Oops.
difference. And we
Oops. Sorry. Should I keep playing?
That's good. Thanks so much.
Okay.
So we wanted to just kind of play that song for you as an example of how community works and how we thought it would be fun to bring young people together around music and this common goal of achieving the 10,000 deeds. And what we thought would be a really nice thing to start discussing today is how we could take this forward as the 100,000 Deeds campaign. And our friend Nadabara has been doing some amazing work with MUN Impact over the last couple of years. And he invited us to be here, and we thought that it would be really nice to see how we make the journey from 10,000 deeds to 100,000 deeds with all of you. So what we'd really like to do is kind of have some discussions around what it could possibly be. Before that, maybe we could take some questions, and then we can share the brochure that we came up with. And if Nadabara has something to say, that would be great as well.
Yes, and in fact, it'd be great if people turned on their computers. I mean, their screen, their cameras. Sorry, cameras, so we can see who all's in the meeting. Great. And also in the chat, if people could maybe put in real quick which country, maybe even which city and country they're logging in from, so we can see the global spread of who all is in the room. So I'll start. So great. So let's see. Are people able to turn on their cameras? Is that an issue?
We can keep cameras on.
Okay, great. Oh, and people are also muted, so we need to see about how to handle that. But anyway, yeah.
I just changed that permission so people can unmute themselves.
Oh, faintly heard, Lisa. I think, yeah. So I think those are changed. So great. So where were we? Sorry, I kind of hijacked things there for a second. So we were talking about, and also I have the brochure I could share on the screen. Do you still have slides that you're going through, Bindu and Ambi?
We're pretty close to finishing the slides that we had, and I think maybe it would be good to kind of discuss how we could take this forward, and that's what we're here for. Maybe look at the brochure, or if anybody has any questions or comments so far on what they think or how they think that this could work in a more meaningful way. Ambi and I are very aware of the fact that we're very soon becoming outdated. We don't even know how to share videos on Zoom calls. So saving the world is really not something that we have the capacity to do. So it's really up to you guys now. We just want to throw this idea at you and see what you think.
Yeah, so if anyone has any questions, you can go to the participant panel and then raise your hand. or you can also just drop your question in the chat box.
And also, apparently, you can unmute yourself now.
Thank you, Lisa, for that.
So if you don't have a question, what do you want to hear more about? Otherwise,
or maybe we could even have a conversation. Maybe we could. Oh, hi.
Hi, this is Nicola. We've been talking on email. I'm going to be sort of running the campaign next calendar year once we have it up and running. So I just maybe wanted to interject and give everyone my view of how I think it might run. Just for everyone else who's in the audience, I'm a teacher. I'm based at a Spanish school in the north of Spain. I'm also on the board of directors for MUN Impact. And Natabara had passed me the information about the 10,000 deeds. And I thought, especially this year with the current situation with the pandemic, we normally do quite a lot of solidarity acts and events at our school, which also tie in with the Sustainable Development Goals. But obviously at the moment, we can't do that so much. And I thought this might be another way that students in our school and teachers could maybe do things towards the goals, even if it's on their own, all these small deeds that they could do. So I got very interested in trying to implement this into the school. And then we obviously came up with the idea of making it global and trying to reach 100,000 deeds during the next calendar year from schools and clubs and individuals around the world. So I see this as we're going to have a webpage on the MUN Impact website, and we're going to have a student leadership team to help me run the campaign. And the idea is that we encourage schools and MUN clubs and anyone interested in the goals to sign up to the campaign. There will be information about the different goals. There'll be examples of deeds that they could do depending on their age ranges. And we will count how many deeds are taking place around the world with the idea of reaching 100,000 by the end of December. And obviously, especially for the younger students, there'll be like a deed card that they can print out and their parents sign it or their teacher signs it once they've completed the deed. So that's how I see this campaign working next year. I don't know if anyone has any comments or thoughts on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's exactly how it could work. And I think what would be really exciting is if, as you said, we're able to kind of root this in different schools and communities, and it becomes a very student-driven kind of initiative. Because students have power that we don't have. As high school students, if you decide to take ownership of a project like this, it's definitely something that I think students in your schools would be excited to do. And I see that we have a question here from Vishwa. Vishwa, are you able to unmute yourself?
Yeah, so basically my question was that like the idea of this 10,000 deed is really awesome. But the thing is, like, how could we communicate with children and other people around, like, the local, if we talk about people in poor localities, how could we communicate with them during this pandemic?
I think the first step would be to kind of work within your school, because we want to make sure that nobody's putting themselves in danger, or we're not creating any situations where we could be spreading disease at this time. So ideally, the best way to do it would be to have a group of students or a teacher kind of spearhead the project within a school, and then see if we can use channels of communication within the school, whether it's Microsoft Teams or Google Classrooms or however, or apps that your schools are using to keep in touch right now, and see whether we can get commitments from blocks of students within the school. What we've seen here in Bangalore a few years ago was that most of the schools committed at a school level for everyone to pick a deed. So everybody took a card, everyone chose a deed, and the school supported that throughout. So even if we can't have a physical wall, I think that schools at this point, if they're supporting the campaign, would be able to create virtual walls using kind of things like Miro or other collaborative tools where they can post their deeds and share what they've done.
And I think it's been when we did the 10,000 Deeds campaign, it was really nice when schools took ownership themselves, and then you have if there is something that the principal and some of the teachers are really involved in, then it's much easier to get the word to all kids. It's much easier to share the information to all parents involved as well. So it makes it that much easier to do.
Can I jump in and say how I'm planning on seeing it running in my school as a teacher? I've already spoken to our management. They are very enthusiastic about the idea. We've had to translate the information from your original document into Spanish because most of the teachers and students at our school don't speak English. So that's just been done. And we have a staff meeting with all the teachers taking place in November, where they will be told about the campaign. They will be given examples of deeds that they can do with their classes. And they will then be told that, they have each month 2 or 3 classes within that month have to complete, their students have to complete a deed. Whether all the students in the class do the same deed or whether they get to choose 2 or 3 different deeds and the kids themselves can choose which one they want to do, we're leaving that up to the teachers to decide, as they know their classes better than I do. And then we're having one of our walls in the main patio, in the main playground where everyone passes, is going to become our 1,000 information wall with a big counter. So within our school, the school students can see how many deeds they're doing, and then all onto the MUN Impact webpage. So it becomes part of the number of deeds in the counter for the global campaign. So I think starting in your school is a really good starting point.
I'm going to try to share some of the visuals we have. I'm having a little difficulty. Hopefully, let's see if this works. I'm trying. What are you all seeing on the screen right now? Are you seeing the brochure? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so I can't quite expand it because it's trying to fit on the screen, but this is what the basic brochure is. We're looking at maybe updating it just a little bit, but it gives an introduction of what are the global goals or the sustainable development goals. And then it starts to go into what actions can I take. So this lists all kinds of things like what Bindu and Ambi put on the screen before. You see samples of things you can do for each of the different particular SDGs. Let me see if this works. I don't know if you can see any better. Is that helping? Is that easier to read? Okay, I'm guessing it is. So you can see some of the things like, for example, good health and well-being. I will educate 3 people in my community about the importance of vaccinations for children. Number 4, I will learn, practice, and teach others the proper hand washing technique. So little simple things. And this is also geared for, of course, like primary ages, or I don't know, elementary ages if you're in the West, younger kids, but we also want to see how we might be able to work together to develop one for high school ages as well. And so it goes all the way through to all of the SDGs, which is pretty amazing that there's samples of everything there. And just as well, I'm going to change sharing the screen and show you what our website is starting to look like, so that you can see the page that we are building that introduces this idea. This is the deeds card, if you can see up in the upper left. This is what they've been using kind of basically in India, and we'll see how we might be able to adjust that for high school kids. But as you can also see, there's an overview, how we're talking about it now, how we're going to come together to discuss it further, and of course, those famous people on the bottom of the screen. So we're here to kind of get the whole conversation started, and you can go to, we'll put the link in it's already been put there, but we'll put it again in the chat room to see this link on your own computer and see how we can continue.
And another thing that we just wanted to point out is even though some of these deeds were geared towards primary school children, and we found that at that time it was probably best to give more direction to younger kids because high schoolers are kind of able to come up with their own ideas. I think it would be a really great thing to pool ideas that would be relevant for your different age groups, and also look at what possible campaigns would make sense in different countries. So a lot of the ideas kind of in the original brochure are geared towards India, but if we're doing this project in Spain or Kenya or Indonesia or the Philippines, because I see representation from those countries here, or Qatar, it would be really exciting to see what would make sense in the local cultural context, but then still tie in with the bigger objective of reaching the global goals.
Do we have more questions?
I see Lisa and Nicola discussing, bringing it into different languages, which I think would be really, really lovely. And that would also be a great way to figure out how we could get it across to wider communities. In India, we did try and translate it into Kannada, and we found that kids in government schools were very excited about participating once it was in a language that they could understand it. And then they came up with a lot of their own ideas as well.
Okay, any other questions? And we'll also put, I'm just going to put it there now to keep in touch on the conversation. If you want to go to the Typeform link there, it'll get you signed up to be a part of the next Zoom meeting to discuss this further. And you're welcome to share that with other people who weren't at this. Obviously, there are people participating in all kinds of other things right now. So if you have a friend or someone you know that you'd like to invite to be a part of the discussion, please share that link with them.
Could I ask, out of interest from the students who are here, how many of you think you would be interested in joining either as a student leadership team member or getting your school involved with the challenge itself?
Oh, we have a couple of raised hands going up. Great. And by the way, signing up for the student team, it's also like just to join the discussion to help shape it and develop it and collaborate. And then there's that extra step of how you might be able to bring it to your school or bring it to other schools, other countries. It's a sliding scale of involvement and participation.
For answering the question in the chat about what it would entail, just off the top of my head, because I haven't really had time to think about this with the summit going on, but I can see that we will get registrations from individuals or clubs or schools who are interested in joining the campaign. So obviously we will need to take that information, we will need to contact them, we will need to provide them with materials and guidance. It would be nice that schools who are taking place would send us a little article or photos that we could use on our social media. So we would need to track that and make sure we receive that information. We would obviously have to keep an eye on the counter. We need to count how many deeds are being completed around the world and collate that information so we can use it. That's off the top of my head what I can see the student leadership team doing. I don't know if I've missed anything. It doesn't, depending on the size of the team, I can't see it being an awful lot of work, but if it's spread between all of us, obviously maybe at the beginning, translating the information into different languages so we can make it more available. I don't know if anyone else has any thoughts.
Yeah, I think that's a great way for it to work, to get people to pool their ideas together and then start taking action within their communities. I see a question that says, what age do you have to be to join the student leadership team? Nadabar, I don't know if there are any kind of rules around that here. So yeah, any age with leadership initiative is most welcome. So, and I think the next step would be kind of having another meeting with people who are interested and seeing in which concrete ways we could take this forward. How to set smart goals, if I may. Kabir says I'm in grade 6 and very keen to drive this in Mumbai. That would be great, Kabir. We'd look forward to that.
So in a practical sense, as we get some of these materials ready, the brochure, the deed cards, and I'm guessing we'll probably have kind of a info sheet that we'll create that will be how to bring it to your school, kind of instructions, and we can develop that together. And of course, any other aids and things that might be helpful. Also, at some point, we'll want to see how we can share this on social media to spread the word and get others interested.
Yeah.
And participating.
That sounds great.
Yeah. So what else? Now, everyone's really shy and quiet today, or they're tired or what, but I have a feeling there's more out there. So who would like to jump in? Okay, where will it be posted? That's from Nika. Yeah, we're going to keep attention to that webpage that we shared in the chat on the website. But also, obviously, we won't put everything up on the website because it's an ongoing discussion. So there may be, if you attend the next meeting, you'll be put in touch. And I think we're going to create an email list because we're probably going to have a Google Doc created that people can help, contribute to, that kind of thing. So the main thing is to fill in that type form so that you can be on the list and be kept in touch.
So Kabir says that he can make poems, and I think that's really great because as musicians ourselves, we think that music and poetry and writing and singing and dancing is such a powerful way to spread messages across the world. So if Kabir, you're going to write poems, that's something that we'd look forward to, whether it's in English or any other language. I think that would be a great way to kind of get the message across.
Lisa, can I ask, on the type form that they need to complete for if they want to join the leadership team, does it ask what time zone they're in? Or is there any way, is there a comment box they can add that? Because that would, no, it doesn't. Okay. So, okay. Well, if the country's there, then we can work out the time zone. I'm just thinking about if we need to set up a video call, having that information so we know what time would suit everyone.
Yeah, country information should help us sort that out. But yeah, good. So would our co-secretary general, Anya, like to say something? I'm putting you on the spot, Anya. Uh-oh, she just turned the camera off. I'm going to start calling on people.
Sorry, my brother just came in and I just got really flustered. Everything, it just sounds amazing, and I just wanted to thank Ambi Surman. You guys are amazing, and all the work you've done is just so inspiring, and the video is amazing as well. So yeah.
Yeah, there's also, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Now I was going to say thank you, Anya, and I can understand how it is to be annoyed and flustered by brothers. It happens to me very, very often. It's something that I deal with on a daily basis.
You get used to it after a while.
Yeah. Hey, let me see if I can find the video where you performed the Heroes song in the schools. That might be fun for people to see you bringing it to the schools. Unless you have that handy, I'll see if I can find it.
You can see
sure, yeah, maybe I can send you the link as well.
And I'm wondering if any of the other students who were just suggesting that they would like to take leadership roles as well, if they had any ideas. Kabir is talking about poems, but is there anything else that anyone wants to share here to just kind of get into a pre-kickoff while we're looking for that video? That would be exciting to hear as well.
Sensodyne Sensitivity and Gum is
Sorry, you're hearing something because whenever I open up a YouTube, it plays an ad first, and I have to quickly press mute. So let me see. If I'm not interrupting, should I just play the video now? Yep. Okay. Let me get it all prepped. Share.
in comic books and video games. Superheroes fly away. Let's be real, who needs a cape? Let's get together and save the day. Pada pada sada sari sari gari. Pada pada sada sari sari gari. Don't use plastic, teach some kids. Marvel at the good you did. Don't waste food, compost too. There's so much more that you can do. Pada pada sada sari sari gari. Pada pada sada sari sari gari.
Sa sa ni da pa ma ga pa ma ga ri sa ni da pa da sa ri ga da ri ga pa ri ga pa da ri sa sa ni da pa ma ga ri sa ni da pa da sa ri pa da ri da ni da pa da ri sa.
Oh. Wow. That brings back memories. I remember some of those schools. Yeah.
And they remember you too. So
Okay.
you have an obligation to be back in India. And now that we have some more friends, we've got Vishwa and Kabir and everyone else that looks like they're from India. So you may have to come and visit them when you come next time.
And where, okay, so Vishma, where are you from? Vishwa, who's the other? Kabir, Mumbai, okay.
So Vishwa has a really great idea of talking to government school teachers and asking them to acknowledge teach students about that from Ahmedabad. Lovely. So I think maybe the best thing to do now is probably wrap this up here and give students an opportunity to fill in the form and connect with us and maybe have a quick eye care, eye break, and bio break before the next session. What do you think, Nadabara? Does that make sense? Oh, you're muted.
Trying to understand all those elements you just listed, but yes. Any other last thoughts from anyone? Anyone want to jump in and say something, even if it's just hello, how are you?
Well, we've got Lisa.
Oh, Lisa's got audio issues. Oh, what a day. So what we can do is Lisa can move her mouth and we can pretend she's saying anything we want. Oh boy, I can't wait. I just won the lottery, so this is just a little way to spend my time in the morning. And good. Oh, we have some people showing up on screen. So Vishwa, how are you? You want to unmute yourself and say hello? Also Kabir.
Hello. Yeah, I'm great. How are you guys?
Great, great. And remind us, where are you calling in from?
I'm from Ahmedabad, Gujarat.
Right, so up northwest. Good, I passed my geography test for today. So Kabir, hello.
Hello everyone. I'm really excited for this campaign, and I'm logging from Mumbai, India.
Oh, great. How old are you and what year are you in school?
I'm 11 years old and I'm in grade 6.
Great.
Awesome.
Super. Nika from the Philippines is asking whether she can share the link to her friends. Yes, that would be really great because the more people we have joining our community, and then Nika just switched her video off again. Do you have an annoying brother too, Nika? Is this a problem that you're dealing with?
Nika, what's going on? A lot of giggles.
Sorry. Oh my God. I just don't know what to say.
That's okay. What time is it there in the Philippines right now?
It's 12.
12 at midnight?
Yeah, but it's okay. I usually go to sleep at 3 a.m. So my body clock is...
Maybe that's why you're laughing. Good.
Yeah, so do please share it with your friends. And thank you all of you for logging in today and kind of being part of this session with us. I hope that as we get this project kicked off and as we get started and start doing things, we can all communicate and collaborate a lot more and figure out how we can get this going and how to get Lisa back to India, more importantly.
So do we just want to talk a little bit about scheduling the next meeting? I know a lot of it hinges on, of course, Bindu and Ambi's availability, also Nicola and Lisa, and some of our other vocal participants here. So do we want to just kind of try to brainstorm a little bit right now, like when a potential good meeting time and date would be? Are there any blackout dates that we just can't do? How about, let's start with Ambi and Bindu. Like, what are possible dates and times for you?
Nicola says 2 weeks from now, which looks good. I don't know what it would be in 2 weeks from now. Friday,
2 weeks.
2 Fridays from now. Okay.
Yeah. Actually,
Ambi's actually checking his calendar. I'm just opening Instagram until he figures the dates out.
Yeah, two weeks from now, Friday.
Perfect.
Works well for us.
No, we're just putting it out there. Sometimes on Saturdays we get a lot more people because it's not conflicting with school. So if that's at all a possibility, I'm just putting it out there.
Saturday works too.
Saturday's good too.
Okay.
Aisha's asking how we get the link. I assume if you sign up on the type form, you will get the link.
Yeah. So I will put in the chat. If you go to the link on the website, I just put it in the chat. It will take you to the Typeform link. It says sign up and join the team. There's a button there. So, okay, if we're talking Saturday in 2 weeks, Lisa, do you see kind of on the calendar? And also I'm looking to Nicola. Oh, Nicola's giving a big
Sorry, it's my daughter's birthday, and I'll just be in so much trouble. And I've got my parents from England, and it's not even worth trying to go down that road. Send it out for me.
So, is there another Saturday, or what's possible?
Yeah, maybe the Saturday after. And happy birthday to Lisa's daughter.
That's
Awesome.
right. It's Lisa's daughter's birthday today. Oh man, you are juggling a lot today, Lisa. Okay. So, okay, so is it true that next Saturday is too soon for everybody? Is that the deal? Just making sure.
Next Saturday could work for us.
What about Nicola? Because I know.
I don't know about the wild.
Oh, Nicola's now nodding. That means it's okay.
Do you
Next
have
Saturday? What about you, Lisa? How's that sound for the schedule? Okay. Okay, we're narrowing down. We have a day. Now, what about time? What is an ideal time so that Nika doesn't have to stay up so late and you all don't have to stay up so late? So, Lisa, do you have a kind of optimal time to suggest? This time is great, or an hour earlier. 15 o'clock UTC. I don't know what that means for everybody, but well, let's see. What time is it now, UTC? Help me out. Who's got the UTC clock on their wrist?
4:30 UTC at the moment,
So
in the afternoon.
16:22. Okay. So it would be an hour and 22 minutes earlier than now. Does that work for everybody?
That's 8:30 India time, so that works for us.
Okay. 11 a.m. on the East Coast here. How does that work for Nika?
Nika, is that like 11 p.m. for you?
Oh, it's fine.
It's fine? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone else? So, and Lisa, that's not too early for you? Nah. Nah, that's easy. Okay, so we're set. We have a date. We have a time. Great. So now in preparation for the meeting.
I missed the time, sorry.
Oh, 15 o'clock UTC.
Okay,
so I think that's 3 o'clock UTC or whatever. I don't know. But we do have to wrap up this meeting now because we have another one we have to start in a moment. So, okay, we've got it down. We'll share that, circulate that time and a link. And we just want to thank Bindu and Ambi for taking their time to not only perform in the plenary, but also share this great project with us here and see how we can expand it. So any last words, Bindu and Ambi?
Thank you for having us, and we're looking forward to the next meeting and the ideas that you guys have to share with us. So
yeah, this is something very exciting for us. I mean, it's really nice to see that this is growing, and we can't wait to see where this heads.
And how quickly we get to 100,000 deeds. So thank you, all of you. Thank you, Nadabara. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, everybody who's here. And we'll see you soon.
Okay. Super. Thanks, everyone. So we're going to be shutting this meeting down. Sorry if you're just going to go black in a second, but thanks for everyone attending and get ready for the next session. So thanks again, Bindu and Ambi, and we'll talk soon.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.